know, when I was released this time, they gave me $40 and a bus pass. That's all you get. I didn't have a place to live. I didn't know where I was going. I mean, I knew I was coming back to Bellingham, but aside from that, I didn't know where I was going, you know. And that's how so many people are released. And for myself, if I hadn't prepared in such a way ahead of time, I would have been lost, you know. I would have been out there, I would have been desperate, you know. It's desperation there.
You got nowhere to go, you know? That's the bottom line, you know? Like, they say you're supposed to have a release address to release from prison, but if your sentence is up, they'll kick you out and put you down on the mission, as the mission as your release address, you know? And, like, a lot of people just weasel away as, hey, will you just let me have your address, you know, so that I can release? And they get out and they're on the street because they don't have that release address, you know? It's just, it's a broken system.
Tell you, if somebody get out of prison and you have, you know, DOC on your butt, you have chemical dependency counselors, you have the driver's license, DOL, and then you have insurance you have to get, right? Because you can't have a license without insurance, most people. And then if you do, you have to have like SR22, which is like high-risk insurance, so that's a little bit more money. And then you might have to do UAs, you might have to find out, get a house, get money for a house. Talk to your family, see if they can help you. Yeah, right, like your family's gonna help you, you know what I mean? And who wants to ask their family anyways? I didn't want to. And then you have to get a phone, or you have to have some type of phone assistance, mail, somewhere to get your mail. Then you have, on top of that, you have, like, if you have kids, then their expectations of you, time being spent with them, friends that haven't seen you in forever, the friends that you just left from prison, you know, I mean, there's like all of this stuff, and you feel like the world is on your shoulders, and you don't know how to start. You just don't know how to start.
I feel that the Re-Entry Coalition is important. First of all, because of the attitude of the people working there. They're not judgmental, okay? They're loving, they're caring. They realize how hard it is. I don't think any of them have been in these shoes, so it's a wonder to me how they can have that kind of empathy, you know? But they have it, you know? And just knowing that somebody cares for you and cares about your success helps you.
When I got out of prison, I didn't really have anything, any resources to get housing or any of that kind of stuff. And basically, they put $1,000 towards my rent for Oxford houses, and so I was able to get a house to live in, you know. And it's pretty much it kind of blew my mind. And then
Coalition has given me tools and skills to use as far as budgeting and getting housing, and how to talk to people and network and find resources that I need.
I know that this particular time in my life has been a blessing, you know, having a program as such, you know, coming out and feeling their love from a stranger. Okay, we're going to help you any way we can. We don't have a lot of funding, but you know, we know you can go here and do this, you can go there and do that. So giving me the tools to get things accomplished.
Recidivism rates are so high because people get out and they don't have that mentor, they don't have anybody to walk them through, like step by step, here's a little goal for you to accomplish, you know, and that's when they go back to breaking laws and doing crimes and doing drugs because it's easy, fast money and everybody wants money, right? And so they go back to doing that. So the Re-Entry Coalition and programs like it help with that and they're kind of a buffer for all that stuff and to allow people the opportunity, if they choose to change and like be someone different.
So I think it's ridiculous, you know, like if you look at like generally most people that I run into in prison, you know, there are some that are murderers and all that stuff, you know, but generally everybody's in there doing short sentences for addiction related crimes, property crimes, stuff like that. You know, and I think that if the focus shifted from, okay, well, we need to lock these people up and cost the taxpayers millions of dollars a year, instead of putting them into different programs that cost a lot less. You know, like I went to treatment for 30 days, that cost $3,700 versus, you know, being incarcerated for 14 months. I went to treatment, got out with a fresh look on life, you know, and then I hooked up with the Re-Entry Coalition. I just think that it's ridiculous that we lock people up for treatable things, you know, and they just contain them and they let them out with $40 gate money and they're right back where they started with no options, and they expect them not to reoffend. I think it's a criminal business, you know. I think it's ridiculous.
I think if more people knew how much of their tax dollars went to work there, that they would, you know, that they would have a problem with it, and that they would begin to funnel money into programs to prevent people from reoffending, like the coalition, or at least teach them what to do when they come out.
Well, right now they're struggling to get money into the program, and you know, the thing is they got a $10,000 grant and they got a 60% success rate, which is very good, you know, versus the cost of incarceration. They put up $1,000 per client, and 6 out of 10 of those people are successful, you know. So really, like if they can get more grant money and more funding for their program, they can also develop more houses. Like right now, they just built a house for a couple people that I know that have nowhere to live. They're living under a bridge, so they built this house, and it's like a workhouse program where they go there and they do work on the house and they're able to live there and they have a home, you know. But that's like a huge thing for a lot of people. When they get out, they don't have anywhere to go, you know. So just more funding and more awareness too would really be awesome.
There's all kinds of things, housing, transportation, help with getting their driver's license. A lot of times now you can actually start a payment plan with collections so that they can release your driver's license, but that payment plan has to be started with at least $50. So the more people will help, the more money that is, right? Sometimes people get out and in the midst of, you know, getting all this stuff done, in between the time where they get housing and maybe get food stamps if they need it for a little while, they're not going to have any food, they're not going to have any of these things, clothing for interviews, for jobs, all those things, you know, that would really help.
So there are probably a lot of grants out there, you know, that we get to tap into. Something that I hope to help them do as well. Find them and write them and get them, you know. It is needed. I mean, that's the only way that they can do the programs, you know. It's the only way they can have an office. You know, it's the only way they can do a lot of things, you know. They give so much of their lives, and a lot of it's coming right out of their pocket, you know. So I'd like to see them, you know, be funded in a way where they can receive a salary. You know, I'm not sure if any of them do, you know, but they give $28 a day. You know, they're always on the calls for the coalition.
The more people that we can help through the Re-Entry Coalition, that means there's more people that can then take their story inside to the women who are still locked up, who have that fear that they're never going to get out, that they're not going to know what to do when they get out, that nobody's going to understand. And that's the biggest thing, is for them to understand that there are people like them, that they're not by themselves, that even though their family has shunned them, there's perfect strangers that would be willing to understand and not judge them.